Hello, I'm Anne Pemberton and I work as a medical intuitive. I practice in the Leeds and York area. So what is a medical intuitive? It's a person who brings a wealth of knowledge from their background and a spiritual edge to their practice. So for me, that means bringing in my years of nursing as an ITU specialist nurse in cardiothoracics. It brings in my teaching, psychology, then my functional medicine and nutrition, and it also brings in some vibrational healing and some heart math. For me, it's always been about hearts. And that's the way we perceive the shaman to have worked in the past. So I bring all that knowledge, and I also work with spirit to fine-tune the analysis that I gain from the questions that I ask, and then I put it all into a whole for a person. How do you know if this process is for you or if I'm the correct practitioner for you? So when you've listened to this video to the end, if I resonate with you in any way, then I would love to speak to you. So please give me a call to arrange a 15 or 20-minute conversation. I like to meet the person where they're at, and so it doesn't matter where you're coming from. It's my role to meet your needs as they are. I believe that first introduction is really important because it sets the scene for a good relationship. And I believe the relationship is everything in this kind of work that I do. You might be one of those people who has seen a lot of practitioners or done an awful lot of work for yourself, and you've just hit a sticking point, and you get well to a certain degree, but then you can't get any better. It might be that you're holding yourself up with supplements, for example. Or it might be that there's something that you've not addressed, that you're not aware of. So what I do is I look at all of that, and I'll tell you if there are things that can be done outside what you've already done. The people I really love to work with are those people who have been there, done it, bought the t-shirt and done everything, because they are already partners in their own care. They come with a wealth of knowledge, and that challenges my knowledge base and challenges me to think in a different way. So they grow me, and then I'm able to help even more people as I move forward. So if you fit any of these categories or you just resonate, then I would really love to hear from you. So the first part of the process is we would set up an appointment, and I would send you out questionnaires, and I have 3 or 4 questionnaires that tend to go out to most people, depending what your initial issue is. You would complete those questionnaires for me, and I would hope to get them back within 3 working days of us speaking. Then we have the appointment, which is 90 minutes. We can have that appointment face to face, so you can come into the office to speak to me personally, or we can do it on Zoom or Skype, whichever is easy for you. If you're a long distance traveller, you may not appreciate the need to get on a train to see me, so that's fine. On the 90-minute call, I will have already started to create what I call your timeline. So I'm looking at your health from birth right up to where you are now. As you come to meet me, or we meet on Zoom, what would happen is I would open the opportunity for you to tell me your story. So within that timeline, I'm looking for what are the antecedents that have set you up for the health challenges that you currently have. And those health challenges might be genetic, they might be something that is kind of carried down your bloodline. They may be something like a birth trauma or attachment trauma, or that you may have not eaten a really good diet for your entire life for multiple reasons. and so you might not have had the nutrition that's been important for your body to grow and thrive. And then look for the triggers or trigger. And there's always a trigger when someone's health starts to decline. And that trigger again can be a trauma. It can be that the body has just had enough of whatever we are throwing at it that is perhaps not right for its ability to be in the world. And so we look at the triggers as well, because the triggers are really important. And then the final thing I look at is what is the mediator, and the mediator is the thing that is keeping the poor health going. So I analyse your case based on Dietrich Klinghart's five levels of healing model. Dietrich Klinghardt tells us that we have 5 different bodies of which he calls the 5 levels of healing, and unless we heal all 5 levels, then we can't get fully well. And this applies to more to the people who have chronic unremitting illnesses, things like chronic fatigue, for example. So the 5 levels, what it tells us is level 1 is the level at which we're looking at the physical body. So that's your food, your nutrition. It might be chiropractic work or something like that. It's anything that creates structural boundaries. We might be looking at a leaky gut or a gut-brain axis problem in the physical world. The next level of healing is energy healing, or the energetic level of the body. And the energetic area of the body is where, when we have a lot of emotions that we've not processed properly, for whatever reason, it might just be that, you know, we had busy parents who didn't have a lot of emotional intelligence themselves, or they had a lot of traumas themselves. So listening to our traumas, which will be minuscule compared to what some of our parents and grandparents went through, they're not emotionally available for us, and that is not being disrespectful or, you know, calling anyone out for that, because it is just how society is. But anything like that, it serves our sense of self and it creates who we are, in a manner of speaking. And so those energies, they all get trapped in the body. We eat them down or we just trap them, and then we get aches and pains as the body tells us that something is wrong. And then because we have Western medicine and a pill for an ill kind of thing, and again, it's not saying that that's wrong, because it definitely is not, and we are all grateful for it. It's a case of, if this is an energy thing that is blocking an organ from working effectively, then that energy needs unblocking. So for that, acupuncture comes into that, and Reiki and those kind of things, and the drum work, biofield tuning. So that's the energy field. The next field we need to look at is the mental body. And this is how we perceive ourselves in the world. And again, that comes from our preconditioning. Most of it comes from when we were literally sponges in this world, between the ages of 0 and 6. We had little command of language and even less command of emotional intelligence. So we weren't often able to tell someone when it hurt. And if we had parents who were hurting, we intuitively knew not to put the pressure on them, so we often would hide all that. But that would then create a sense of self within us that is quite negative. And quite a lot of us on the planet at this point in time find we cannot love ourselves. So that's just one example. And that's the mental body. So that needs a mindset shift, and that would be another therapy altogether. It might be psychotherapy. Again, biofield tuning could help that. The fourth body we need to look at is the intuitive body. And the intuitive body is about, I know that, but I don't know why. And that can come from past life experiences, according to the shamanic practices. And that, again, would mould us in who we are. It might create patterns that we're running that we really don't understand. And so, It might be that you might need some shamanic work for that. Or it might be that you just need to do a practice of your own that heightens your own intuition, and I can send you to resources that can help with that. The final body that Dietrich Klinghardt tells us we need to address is the spiritual body. And this has nothing to do with religion. It's more to access our higher states of consciousness, which gives us more awareness of who we are as a person. And to be fair, we all walk around there with these personas that are not truly us. And when you do the spiritual work, you do find that your whole idea of who you are completely changes. Now, no one can tell you what is right for you spiritually. That has to be your own journey. All I would do is point you to some avenues to explore, and then it would be your role as part of that to see if any of those resonate with you. So that's the 5 levels of healing model. When I analyse your case, that's what I do. Analyse it from that perspective. Once I've done the analysis, and I'm doing that while I'm working with you, I then would put the recorder on so that you can have a recording of your consultation, particularly the bits I'm speaking back to you about, because I feel it's really important that I empower people to take control of their own health from all aspects and in all levels. And I feel that by providing you with a recording of your consultation, that means you can go and listen to that as many times as you need so that you can become empowered. I also produce you a written report, and within that written report there'll be links to whatever we've spoken about that we think might be an appropriate therapy for you. I try to access resources that are free on the internet, because if you have a chronic unremitting illness, then we all know those kind of people can get bankrupt very easily by seeing lots of different practitioners. And because practitioners generally don't work together as a team, then you can be missing links because people don't talk to each other. And so if I give you the tools to work with, you can go and do your own homework. You can look at those tools and you can say, is this resonating with me? So that's kind of how it works. So you would get the recording and the written report, and then you would go away and put your plan into action. There's also an opportunity, because there's a lot of information coming to you after the first appointment particularly, there's also an opportunity for you to come back when you've gone through your report and listen to your recording again to see if there's any specific questions that you might need to have addressed. I would also say if there's supplementation involved, what I would do with that is you would get a tableted format, like a prescription, but it would give you your supplement, the amount you need to take, whether it's breakfast, lunch or dinner, and then in the comments column it will say how to keep that supplement. Does it need refrigerating? How to take it? Does it need to go in water? Is it one that goes on your skin? And then there'll be a link that you can just click on for easy ordering, where you'll get a discount. So that's what you get after the appointment.